across the floor. Do not teach me anymore. If what I have is not enough, this paradise has turned to dust for you. Don't turn the light out, let it burn brighter. I can see so clearly now. For every fear that's fading, another heart is waiting. It takes a man to hold things down.
Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. It is another episode of LB Speaks to Hugh on a Monday night. Do me a favor, guys, smash the like button. This is my 4th stream of the day. I'm about to go and do my 5th stream after this with Dan Potts, and then I'm going to do a 6th stream at 9 p.m. with Size coming on the channel 9 till 10, and then Hamza is on the channel 10 till 11 to see you in the deadline day. So do me a favor, man. I've been putting all this grind in today. Do me one favor. Yeah, don't cost you a penny. Hit that thumbs up button on the stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and subscribe to HUGH channel as well. Links in description. Takes you less than 10 seconds. Let's do some shout outs while we're here. Big up to Kushan, Amir, MLK, Dan Trallius, Man City Fan, Nariman, Ritesh, Abhishek. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Steve, Daniel, SNC, Angel, Nabil, who else we got in here, man? Big up Mojish, Juju. Big up to Louise. Rob's here, big up to you, man. Big up to Andy Slate there as well. Sebastian, good to see you, man. Smash up the likes on the way in, people. Come on. You, bro, I wish we could be meeting under better circumstances. However, yeah, it's not good circumstances, bro. What are you saying, man? Have you recovered from the demolition yesterday?
I got cooked today, bro. I got cooked. My whole office, people I didn't even know like football. People are starting to claim.
Oh, them guys. Yeah. We all know about them guys.
Yeah. People come to me going, "High five, Hugh. How's things?" I'm going, "Do I know you? Like,
yeah.
Who are you?"
We all know those people, man, who don't speak about football ever, and then one day they just fucking hit you, man, with the L's. Yeah, fuck those guys, man.
Yeah, bro. Got cooked today. Got cooked today, nice, but I mean, a bit of transfer news today kind of softens the blow, but we'll talk about that. But like a drubbing like yesterday, man, it takes a bit of time to get over. I'm not gonna lie, to lose, like if we had a lost 2-1, 3-2, even 3-1, something like that, I'd probably be sitting here a bit more like it was semi-expected, wasn't it? Like, did you see the odds before the game? Arsenal on the bookies were gone in comparison to City. So the 5-1, bro, I did my video. I got my emotions out. It's always raw. It's always unfiltered, and it was unacceptable. It was totally, totally unacceptable yesterday. Like, you can talk to me about off seasons. You can talk to me about transition seasons. You can talk to me about what we need, what we don't need, what we have, what we don't have. We can have that conversation all day and all night. Bottom line is, to lose 5-1 is unacceptable. It's unacceptable against anybody. But a big six fixture like that, totally, totally unacceptable, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's like, I said this so many times, bro, but and I'm sure you feel the same. I'm sure every single person in this chat who's a City fan who ain't just a trolley. You know what I mean? I feel like, and even if you're not a City fan, like you've probably experienced this at your football club. These mistakes, right? I know I've said this a lot of times here, but I've got to say it again. These mistakes that we're making are fucking killing me, man. Like, seriously, they're just like daggers through your back, bro. Like, they're just, I'm struggling, man. You know what I mean? Fucking these errors are killing me, bro. Chelsea, the new lad makes a mistake. 90 seconds into this game, fucking Akanji makes a mistake. Then we score. Then Foden makes a mistake. I'm just like, I'm really, really, really struggling, man.
This is mentality at this point, because I'm not putting this down to player ability, even though if we want to go through each individual player, I'll tell you some harsh truths about what I think about them, particularly like, say, the defense and the goalkeeper yesterday, because they were shambolic, absolutely shambolic. Some of these issues that we're shooting ourselves in the foot with have to come down to just mentality and character at this point. Because it's just, I'm not willing to accept that these are just run-of-the-mill mistakes that keep happening week in, week out. Like, some of the ones yesterday, like, say, for example, the one that really pissed me off was when Haaland scored, it goes 1-1. 60 seconds later, Arsenal waltz up the pitch. Like, no midfield's there. It's non-existent. And then second of all, our defense is just backing off him, backing off him, backing off him. And let him do what the hell he wants. Do what you want. And I don't care. I don't want to hear about but it deflected, this, that, the other. The fact of the matter is, you let a player who's really dangerous from long range do whatever the hell he wants from long range. There's no point putting your hands behind your back. I don't want to give away a penalty. Don't want to give away a penalty. I'm beyond the point of caring about giving away penalties. I want to see you make the right decision and go for the man on the ball. You can't let these people, Odegaard, Rice, Partey, these guys do what they want on the edge of your box. And then you have the one for Lewis Skelly's goal. Don't tell me again, deflected this, deflected. Couldn't give a bollocks who came off. The fact of the matter is, John Stones stood there with his hands behind his back, as if to say, I'm just going to stand here and hope it doesn't hit my arms. No, put pressure on the kid. Get up on the face. Do you know what I'm saying? Force him to make a mistake. Force him to go backwards. The last thing you should be doing is just letting him pull the trigger. Because you're putting him in dangerous position. You've Ortega making hospital passes. Anybody wants to tell me he should be number one is banned from the channel. He's not quality number one. There's too many...
Kim Jong-Q.
There's too many basic mistakes, bro. And at some point, you can't just call them basic mistakes anymore. There's a wider issue than that.
You're spot on. I feel like yesterday seemed to me to be a point where a lot of City fans, because I experienced this on the panel show, a couple of the lads who had not spoken to until the panel show, I saw people are saying, and the people in the chat, people are saying, like, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Like, these mistakes, they can't continue. At some point, you've got to start holding players accountable. And I know some people don't like doing that, but at some point, you've got to start saying, like JTI in the chat, you're professional fucking athletes. Like, fix up, bro. These mistakes are schoolboy. Bernardo Silva called it out 2 months ago and said we're playing like a bunch of under 15s, and we're still playing like that now. And it's like, at what point are we going to stop making these bozo errors? Now, is it a confidence thing? Will this new guy coming in, Gonzalez, we'll speak about him in a minute. Is he going to come in and get us better? Hopefully, Diaz can come back and stay fit. Is it a fitness thing? Is it just a constant? Are the players just knackered? Are they fatigued and they're just making stupid bozo errors because they're not fit and they're knackered? I don't know what the answer is. I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is it has to stop. It has to stop because if we're being honest, yeah, these fixtures that we've got coming up, if we carry on making these errors, we'll lose every single one. That's not reactionary. It's the truth and it's facts. And I don't want us to lose every game. I fucking hate doing these streams when we lose. I much prefer them doing when we win because it's much better vibe, yeah. And if we keep making these errors, we'll lose them all because we're playing good teams. And then it puts the top 5 at real risk. So listen, the players have just got to take a hard look at themselves and accept that what's been going on, these mistakes, schoolboy errors are not good enough. They need to stop fucking around with it on the edge of the penalty area when they're under pressure. That doesn't mean just go long all the time, play out from the back. But it's about managing the game, right? So, you know what? I like the checkpoints, right? The chat know about the checkpoints. You know about the checkpoints. So I like to think, right? If I'm a manager of a football team like City and I'm going to Emirates, then what I'm trying to say to the players is, right, first 10 minutes, I want no bozo errors. If you have to go long, you go long. But I want to get to the 10-minute mark at the Emirates, 0-0. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. So that means no fucking about with it on the edge of the penalty area. Any danger, go long. After 10 minutes, we've rolled out that initial storm. You know what I mean? The crowd has quietened a little bit. Maybe you can start playing your game. And within 90 seconds, we've already made a huge error. People can blame Stones all they want. Yeah, it's a crap ball, whatever. Akanji just launch it down the pitch, mate. Yeah. Then you've got 5 minutes later, Ortega try to do, I don't know what he's trying to do with that pass. And it's just like none of the things that an elite level football club would do were displayed yesterday within the first 10 minutes. Then we start getting back into it, you know, playing all right. We're not playing great, playing okay. Have a couple of chances. Raya pulls off some world-class saves. We eventually equalise. And then guess what happens? Again, checkpoints. We've equalised. We get to a 1-1. Yeah? At the Emirates. Tricky place to play football. We've not played particularly great. We're back in the game. What do you do then? You say, right, lads, let's keep it at 1-1 for the next 5-10 minutes. Yeah, let's just settle down and see how we get on. Within, 30 seconds, it's 2-1. There is absolutely... And I tell you something, yeah, chat. What does this come down to? Leadership.
Yeah.
There is fuck all leadership in that squad. I'm sorry. There is zero leadership in that team when Diaz is not there and Rodri is there. Zero. We play like a bunch of under-15s. Bernardo Silva's words, not mine, so don't cook me. Cook him if you don't like it, yeah? We're very, very naive. Very, very naive. And there is zero leadership in this team. Zero. This is why we are desperate for Diaz to stay fit. Because there's no surprise. Sorry, bro. There's no surprise, yeah, that all of the terrible results, the majority of the terrible results, Ruben Diaz has not been in. And even the PSG game that he was in, he got subbed off at half-time before the goals went in. Because he doesn't let it happen because he's a leader, bro.
I don't think people actually fully understand what leadership means. I think a lot of people look at leadership and say, is he the guy that screams and shouts a lot? Is he the guy that puts in big tackles? Is he the guy that leads by example? These are all obvious things. But what we're lacking in a leader right now is someone who's willing to take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, we need to change things right now. You know, someone like Ruben Diaz would call the squad in after we scored that Haaland goal and say, for the next 10 minutes, no fucking around.
Yeah.
No fucking around.
It's going like, use your fucking heads.
Exactly.
Use your fucking heads.
For the next 10 minutes, while the Arsenal fans are angry, while the Arsenal players are all juiced up to try and get themselves back in the lead, every ball that comes near our box, launch it back at them. Launch it back up the pitch, get it away from our box. Just for 10 minutes to calm things down. Instead, we're backing off Arsenal players. We're trying to play short passes around the place. We're trying to outsmart them when we're just not capable of doing that right now. That's just the reality mentality. We're not going to outsmart them with the skill set and the confidence that we have now. It's just painful to look at the lack of control on the pitch. Like, people look at the manager and say, well, he needs to change his in-game tactics and his game management is all wrong. You can talk about that. That's fine. And there's probably things on that level I'll agree with you about. But sometimes it does come fundamentally down to what leaders on the pitch are controlling the players and telling the players what they should and shouldn't be doing through these checkpoints that you're talking about, because different stages of the game require different approaches and different mentalities. And our approach for the whole 90 minutes in that game was the exact same. And that's why it ultimately killed us. There's too many players, first of all, lacking the leader, lacking someone to give them guidance, which is fine sometimes, but it's not good enough when it's week in, week out, if you need someone to constantly tell you what the fuck you should be doing. And second of all, there's too many players in the pitch just not good enough. Just simply not good enough. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. And I know it's a very sensitive topic, and that's fine that it's sensitive. People don't want to criticize players, this, that, the other, because they won this, they won that. For me, I do look at it in a way that, well, you've won all of this, so I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. I'm totally fine with a drop-off. I'm totally fine with no trophies. I'm totally fine with transition. But what I won't accept is total collapse. Total collapse of your standards. Total collapse of your mentality, which was our greatest asset for so many years. Like, I'm looking at players like Nunes, I'm looking at players like Akanji, and I'm saying, you just don't look good enough. Like, it's actually maybe not a mentality thing for you. You're just not good enough.
But at the same time, would these players be better if they had a leader near them? So Akanji, for me, is the perfect example of a player that he has to play next to Dias. He needs somebody to tell him what to do. And soon as that person's not there, collapse.
That's not good enough for me. That's not good enough for me. I don't care. I don't care how great you look when you have world-class leader Ruben Dias beside you, because Ruben Dias will make lots of centre-backs beside him look really good, because that's how he is. He's going to make the player beside him look a lot better. He made John Stones into the John Stones we sing about right now. Before Dias and Stones had that partnership that year, people weren't quite sure on John Stones. He forms that partnership with Dias. All of a sudden, we're talking about Stones in a different light. Same with Akanji. If you are someone in the spine of the team, a centre half, a midfielder, and you require someone else to lean on to get the best out of you, you're not what I want. I want my players down the spine of my team, my centre halves, to be assured of themselves, to know what they're doing, to back themselves, to know when to launch in, to know when to hold back, to know when to prevent a penalty, whatever. You need to know exactly what you're doing and not lean on someone else. That makes me feel nervous as a fan. Me looking at Akanji with Dias going, I don't know what I'm going to get from you today. I don't know what you're capable of doing. I don't know what kind of mistakes you're going to make, where your head's at, because you don't have someone you can lean on. Going into a big game, you can't have that. It might be fine at Luton or Ipswich or Bournemouth, respectfully. But, going to the Emirates, Anfield, any of them really, Madrid, you're going to get screwed. Simple as. Players like Vinny, players like Mbappe, even players like Jude will take the fucking piss out of any of our players who don't have the correct mentality those evenings. That's what we're staring at right now. Not just the will we beat them, will we not? Will we get embarrassed, will we not, if we're not in the right place? That's where we're looking, and that shouldn't be the case.
Well, this is why I think something that I noticed when I was reading the scouting reports about these two young centre halves that we've bought, Vita Hayes and Abdulkadir Huzanov, is on both scouting reports. Apparently, these two are leaders. Now, they're not going to walk into Manchester City, guys, brand new country, don't speak a word of the language, and just start fucking telling people what to do, especially at 19 and 20-year-olds respectively, But they apparently both have a leadership quality to them, which might take a year or two to fully develop and get out of them. But that might be something that City have looked at. City might have clocked this in the current squad and gone, if Dias isn't there, there's not a single leader in that team. Now, of course, Walker was a leader, but let's be honest, ever since last season, that's just gone downhill. He's now left. How much of a leader he was, even when he was here before he left, I'm not too sure. So we had a real lack of leaders. Obviously, soon as Rodri was one, he's out with an ACL. Dias constantly gets injured, which is its own problem that needs to be sorted out. But man, the lack of leadership is a madness, and it's killing us, man.
When I talk about leaders, I'm not. It's unrealistic and unfair to ask players to be of Ruben Dias level because he's a
I
one in a
agree.
generation type leader. You know,
I agree.
he's a special leader, and he's
Yeah.
one that you have to be really grateful you have. All I'm asking for is 2 or 3 key players on a day like yesterday to be able to pull the squad in, if needs be, pull the squad in and do a huddle or whatever and say, we need to sort ourselves out. This is how we're going to do it. Someone take ownership. Someone take leadership. Don't let everybody crumble. Don't let the whole thing collapse. Someone has to take leadership and ownership. And no one did that yesterday. They were like a bunch of lost
Well,
dogs.
who was though? Who was really going to do that?
Well, I'm personally looking at the likes of John Stones. I think there's an onus on John Stones
Probably.
there
Haaland.
is. Haaland, absolutely. You know, Haaland. I know you're younger than maybe some of the other players, but you're a vastly experienced player now. It's a hugely successful player. You've just been given your long-term contract. We're buzzing about that. So now you can step up into that role of knowing you're going to be here for a long time and start building into a leadership side of things. Even Foden. Foden's with this squad since 2016. You know,
Yeah.
we're talking 8-9 years. I'm looking at you saying, where were you yesterday? With all due respect, we all know how fucking good Phil Foden is. But when you get days like yesterday to Phil Foden, it's infuriating because there's a lot more expected of him. And that's just what comes with being a top player. It's part and parcel. There's more expectation, there's more responsibility. And we're not seeing players take that on right now. Everyone seems happy to just sit there and go, it's transition, it's our down season. And it may be, but that doesn't give you an excuse to turn that.
You need what we needed yesterday. We needed someone to step up and say, we might be going fucking down, but I'm going to do everything I can to stop this from happening. And unfortunately, not one of them showed that. I mean, you could say Bernardo kicked a few players, but that's not what you want to be seeing. Like, you want to see someone fucking getting the team sorted. I always remember the game that sticks out in my head, yeah, it's going back a while, yeah, is that Man City 2-0 win at Hull back in like 2012 or something like that, 2013. I can't remember the exact year. When within 20 minutes, Vinny Company got sent off, right? I think he had done a double-footed challenge on someone. I can't remember exactly where he got sent off, but he got sent off. And that day, yeah, Di Michelis stepped up at that back. And I always respect him for that. He wasn't the best player for us, granted, yeah? Like, he was cheap and that, so like you can't really slag him off. But he wasn't the greatest player for us in the world, yeah? Got cooked on the reg, yeah? But that day, yeah, when Vincent Kompany got sent off that day, yeah, he fucking stood up in that back line and went, I'm going to fucking sort this out. Yeah. And we won 2-0 and he was fucking brilliant. And he literally marshaled that back line, that defense on his own. And listen, if we went down and we lost the game, at least he's trying to sort it out. At least he's like, yo, we're going down. I'm going to be the one to try to sort this shit out. Yesterday, man, it just seemed like the players just sort of like, no one stepped up, man. We're playing scared. How many times have I got to talk about the players passing backwards? We need these players, yeah, are so low on confidence. Yeah, so low on confidence that they're creating their own problems by being too safe. We need these players to start passing the ball forwards. Yeah, have you seen that fucking picture of Bernardo Silva when he could have played it into Marmoush yesterday? Oh, mate, because they're so low on confidence. They're refusing to play those riskier passes, more adventurous passes, because they want to keep the ball, because no one's got the minerals to fucking play a pass. Which, by the way, does beg the question, and I didn't want him to start. I had the starting 11 as it is. Begs the question as to why Kevin De Bruyne didn't play yesterday. Because he probably should have started, really. If these players can't play a forward pass, you got Marmoush making these runs. The only player in this team that's going to play that pass is De Bruyne. Yeah, I think... Listen, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, I told you so, because I didn't have De Bruyne in the starting 11. Now, I think that was a mistake, probably, yeah. But I think going forward in these games, you've got to play De Bruyne, you've got to play Marmoush, because Marmoush is making these runs and nobody's playing in the ball because no one's confident enough. I'd just say to Kevin De Bruyne, mate, I'd say they don't just have they have the ability, it's the confidence. I'd say to Marmoush, right, make these runs, and I'd say to Kevin De Bruyne, I don't give a shit if you do 10 passes to Marmoush and every single one gets intercepted. You keep playing that pass. Because as soon as you stop playing that pass and you go backwards, dead. It's over for us because we end up back at the goalkeeper and we'll lose the ball. We have to get back to what we used to do, which is get the ball forward, get the ball to our wide men, take players on. And if they tackle you, you take them on again. And if they tackle you again, you take them on again. We have to. I feel like this team is playing scared, because they're so low on confidence. And listen, I get they're low on confidence. I'm not an idiot. I understand why they're low on confidence. But the way back to winning, the way back to finding confidence is to force it the way that you used to play, rather than trying to just be safe, nice pass here, left, going backwards, crab football, as people call it. We've got to force it, bro, and start playing those adventurous passes again.
I think that's a really good observation. The fear thing, 'cause it reeked. It didn't take a genius to really work that out, like yesterday particularly. But you can really apply that to a months of football. You know, there's a long body of work there now to look at where the players are playing with fear. With Marmoush, you can see a situation arising. It's very, you know, forecastable that you see the same conversations about Haaland 2 years ago happened to Marmoush. You know, he's making all these runs, we're not giving him the ball. Marmoush gets little or barely any touches in comparison to what he got at Frankfurt and this, that, the other. Because to be fair to him, like I was there at the Chelsea game. He's right in front of me. He made run after run, and you watched him yesterday. He makes run after run, trying to find space for himself, trying to make himself effective, and he's just not given the ball. There's too many players on the pitch yesterday, and in general, as you say, are just not willing to take a risk. Like what you need in a situation like now is one or two mavericks, you know, who are willing to say, I'm willing to make mistakes and I'm willing to take the risk on the basis that it might spark something, it might ignite something. Like when you have players like, please God, tell me you agree with me on this, Mateus Nunes yesterday, you knew what he was going to do every time he got the ball. Every single time. Turn back, turn back, turn back. What use is that to anyone when Arsenal have 10 men behind the ball? Nothing. Nothing. And it's not even at a particularly fast pace. So, you know, you might create an opening or you might create a gap for a ball to go through. It's just aimless receiving the ball and turning back. We're going to get nowhere with that. And ultimately, because we're so low in confidence, you do that enough. Someone makes a mistake, you give the ball away go Arsenal on the counter-attack. That's essentially the type of thing where Nwaneri scored from, and plenty more goals we've conceded come from. It's just aimless drubbing and passing to no effect.
Well, the Nunes thing is I think Nunes is one of the perfect players to talk about when it comes to confidence, because yesterday he got into a number of decent positions on that right-hand side where he should have took on his man or crossed the ball first time with his right foot. And every single time, maybe bar one, he stopped, got it on his left foot. A couple of times he crossed it on his weak foot, which, by the way, he loves cutting on his weak foot. Bizarre, really. Or he passed it back. I'm not trying to slag him off or anything. I'm just using him as a demonstration. As if Nunes is full of confidence, he's taking on his player and he's whipping in across, or he's whipping in across first time. And there's a number of times in that, especially in that first half and the second half as well, where he could have whipped in across on his right foot. And by the way, the reason why that's frustrating is because Nunes can actually cross a ball. He's actually pretty good at crossing the ball on his strong foot. But because he's got no confidence, because of what's happened in recent weeks, obviously, you know, United, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he's got a lot of stick, rightly so. He ain't got the confidence, so he goes backwards. I think for me, this squad is just completely depleted of confidence. And yes, we can talk about the midfield being ass, and it is. Hopefully Gonzalez improves that. We'll speak about that in a moment, right? But until these players force this confidence back and start doing what they need to be doing rather than taking the safe option, it ain't going to improve, because that's not what Man City are about. You know, Man City are about, you get the ball, you take a player on, you shoot. You know what I mean? You don't take an extra touch. You don't go back. You don't play the safe ball, or you've got to take your man on. So listen, hopefully the players can get that back. For me, if I was Pep, you sort of just need to remind the players that they're good football players, but they keep taking the easy option. It'll keep on ending badly, you know, and that's what they need to do. They need to get back to
just the last point on the safety thing. Weirdly, I believe this is true. I think what we were crying out for in the second half yesterday was Doku. I really do. I think we were not applying enough fear on the Arsenal defense. They got comfortable defending us. They were totally cool defending us. At least Doku will come on and add a bit of unpredictability. He'll take on a fullback. He'll take on a winger. He'll give you some sort of dynamic that wasn't already there. Everything was lethargic and predictable yesterday. And once you fall into that category, you're toasted. You know what I mean? You're cooked. So Savinho tried it. He did. Credit to him. Savinho tried it. Marmoush was making runs to try and be effective in a different way, but someone like Doku, a ball carrier who's aggressive going forward, would have earned a bit more respect off the Arsenal defense. That was just a fact. We had no respect off the Arsenal defense because they knew they could control us. They knew they could look after us. They knew there was nothing coming from our right-hand side. That right-hand side of Bernardo and Nunes offered nothing in terms of striking fear into the Arsenal defense.
Our right-hand side is a complete and utter just disgrace, really. You know what I mean? We have absolutely nothing going forward on that right-hand side. Bernardo Silva, listen, I don't slag this guy off, because I think he's probably a legend. And he always gives his best, like 100% running around. But he's bringing absolutely nothing to the team. And Nunes, unfortunately, is just completely devoid of confidence. So we need more. We need more on that right-hand side, Well, listen, and we're going to get that at some point, right? Because Bob's almost back. Doku should be back soon as well. So hopefully we can get Bob in the side. We can get Savio in the side or Doku, two of the three. You got Marmoush there as well. And we can get back to a balanced attack because at the moment, it's Savio and Inshallah, bro, because we got nothing else anywhere on the pitch, really. Got no creativity in the middle. If Kevin De Bruyne doesn't play in the middle, you got no creativity in the middle. You got nothing on the right-hand side. It's Savio or bust.
You're going to see a massive improvement, I think. The world of the difference. Bob, Ake, and Diaz. Those three back in the team will make the world of difference. And I think that's something you can hold on to for a bit of optimism. But it's also a massive, massive, question mark over a lot of the other players. That's my angle, I think having those three back will improve a lot of things in general. But it also makes you go, why do you need those three players back to play with confidence again? Why do you need those three players back? You're meant to be top players, you're meant to be, you are very successful players. And why aren't you playing like it? Or why are you at this low level? So I mean, I don't know when they're all back. I know Bob's back soon. Bob could play against Leyton Orient, couldn't he?
I think Bob will play against Leyton Orient. I think maybe he comes off the bench against Leyton Orient.
Ake, when's Ake?
Let me have a look at the table. Premier League injury table. Manchester
If
City.
If Ake was fit all season, things would be a lot different right now. He's an absolute.
Yeah, but you can say that about fucking Diaz.
No, I know. I'm just saying all the coulda, woulda, shouldas. The bottom line is this is more of a dig at the players who have underperformed in the absence of these players who have not stepped up and not played well. But I'm trying to praise these players as well who haven't been around, because the fact of the matter is you do look what you said. Look at the results with these players in the team in comparison to when they're not in the team. It's night and fucking day. It's like two different teams. I watched I spent a lot of time today in work on YouTube watching Nico Gonzalez stuff, but I actually came across an interview with Oscar Bob, and he says Nathan Ake is the best one-on-one defender he's ever played against. Obviously,
we've seen that in the treble year, didn't we?
Oh,
I mean, this guy literally pocketed Saka, he pocketed Salah, no stress at all in those games with Ake left back, no stress whatsoever. But he's always freaking injured. And it's got to the point now where, I think I've started to come onto this sort of opinion of the last sort of 2 months, maybe last month, and I think a lot of the people in the chat are on this view as well. It's it's got to the point now where I'm it's not just annoying that you're getting injured; it's actually fucking off the rest of the players, because now you've got Gvardiol who's never getting a rest. No doubt in my mind that part of the Kanji decline is due to the fact that this guy is playing all the time when he's fucking not fit. You've got Diaz being rushed back, because we've seen when he got rushed back from his injury, he was straight back in the team, 90 minutes. So it's not about necessarily, you're doing my head in because you're always injured, and that's a bit frustrating. It's now you're doing my head in because you're always injured, and that's putting pressure on other players. It's like if you got to work, and you have you're in a team of 3 people, right? There's you, and there's another guy, and there's another guy, right? And then one guy just decides he's not turning in for work because he can't be asked, right? That then puts pressure on the other 2 players, on the other 2 staff members. And then you've got to up your game. And then guess what happens? You get burnt out or whatever. And then before you know it, you're like, fuck, this is fucked. Yeah, you have to, we've got to keep these players fit. And this is why I think it's the right thing that we probably have bought these two centre-backs in. But if they're not ready to play now because they're not ready, then sort of no use, no ornament, is it? They've got to be ready to play. Otherwise, what the fuck are we bought them for? So anyway, hopefully we'll see. Exactly. You got to be available. You've got to be available. Otherwise, it's kind of useless. Let me go to somebody's super chats, man. Big up to Tyrese, bro. Says, I wasn't even this angry after the derby. I probably was. I probably was more arguing after the derby because the way I thought the derby was embarrassing. But the derby was aimed at one person in particular, whereas this was just a complete and utter meltdown of biblical proportions. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Jay as well. Says rather see AK and VR be in now. Let them fuck up and learn. Well, they got to play, Jay. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, why have we bought them, man? Yeah, obviously they got to play at the weekend. Start them both. Yeah, there's no point in playing John Stones. No point in starting a Kanji. Yeah, unless you want to play a Kanji right back, maybe that's a shout. But yeah, AK and VR, I'd start them both, man, and see what they're saying. You know, I'm not being funny. You can't defend against Leighton Orient. Then we've been completely and utterly scammed. That's true, though, isn't it? If you drop a stinker against Leighton Orient, mate, then we've been fucking scammed, mate.
Alarm bells.
Big time, big time. Built to Nariman says yesterday game killed the hype for the new signings. This is what I'm saying, Nariman. Like before on that stream that I was doing. What have I done there? Yeah, before on that stream I was doing, I was like, I really struggled to get excited and gassed, man, because in the back of my head, I'm like, we got fucking thumped yesterday, you know? Yeah, it's fucking long, man. It's the way we're losing games as well is a killer. Yo, big up to LB, says McFarlane, Vita Hayes, Huzanov, Rico backline versus Leighton Orient. Oh, yeah, that McFarlane. Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, maybe we could see. Is he registered? I don't know what the situation with the registration is. I'm not sure if he can play on that, but if he's available, fuck it, throw him in. Yeah, another player that we've signed. Yeah, get him in there, see what he's about, man. Yeah, we had a proper left back at this football club for time. Yeah, it's about time we get a proper left back. Now, Guardiola's doing a great job, by the way. Yeah, but a proper old school left back, you know, one that can run down the lines, get a cross in and that, get a couple of goals. But Guardiola's one of our fucking best goal scorers, which is brilliant and also a bit of a concern. Yeah, throw him in, man. Throw him in. And built on Matty as well, bro. Says in the summer, Viana has to say to Pep, Ake, Stones, or Akanji. Pick one. The other two are gone, and we're getting you a new first choice centre back, says Matty. I've been saying sort of this, the way you worded this, I like. Yeah, it's time that the sporting director takes control of this squad. And I like the way you've worded that because this is happening. You choose, but this is happening. And if that would have happened this summer, instead of pandering to him, we would have been in a better situation. And that's what should have happened. And that's the sporting director's job. You cannot allow the manager to get too much control. It's not slagging him off. Yeah, this is a fact. If you let the manager get too much control, no. You have a sporting director for a reason. So I like the way you've worded that, bro. Big up to you, man. Nico Gonzalez, bro. Go on then. You told me that you was at work today, watching all the comps, looking at the Nico Gonzalez tactical scouting reports and that. The deal has been done, 60 million euros. The medical has just been completed in Portugal. We've got, 2.5 hours to get this shit in fact, 3.5 hours to get this stuff like all official. But what do you make of it, man? What do you make of it? I'm a little bit unsure, but I think Lou said it in the chat. I'm cautiously optimistic that this could work, but not 100% sure. Where are you on the sort of confidence meter?
I'm invested.
Are you invested? Yeah. Go on. Tell me what sold it for you, man.
Probably the fact that I watched all his best moments and none of his worst.
Yeah, Joe.
I watched hella compilations today of Nico Gonzalez. Did a lot of reading as well. My employers probably don't want to hear this, so I hope they're not watching it to LB. But I spent a lot of time reading and watching about Nico Gonzalez today. I fucking like him, you know. I really, really like him. Now look, please, people, understand what I'm saying. I watched none of his best moments. He could have a stinker compilation that I didn't watch, you know, like Nico Gonzalez's funniest mistakes or some shit like that. But what I did see of his best moments, he could, like, if he can translate his attributes, which is always much easier said than done, but if he can translate his attributes from Portugal to the Premier League, he's going to stamp an authority. He's going to be a real presence because, like, I don't want to say the name or the comparisons, but I can see a lot of similarities in the way that he wants to play. He wants to play to the way Rodri plays. You know, he's one of these. He looks elegant on the ball without actually being elegant. He's like Rodri in the way that every touch he takes is effective. Not many touches, but the touches are really effective. He's a strong ball carrier by the looks of it. He looks like he can press well, and he's a threat. He's an aerial threat. something I noticed big time. A lot of set pieces Porto put in the box, and he's on the end of it. Now, whether it results in the goal or not is a different story. But he gets on the end of it is the main thing. I don't think we're enough of a threat in the box going forward. I like him. I'm definitely optimistic about him. But as I say, it's one thing to look good on a compilation, and it's one thing to look good in Portugal. It's another thing to do it live in the Premier League.
What the thing for me, because again, I've never seen this guy play, and if I have, I don't recall seeing him play live. Never played for Spain. Where I'm sort of getting my confidence from is shit I've read online, who people with no bias, no investment, are writing shit and saying shit that I want to hear. Yeah. The clips, the way that he moves with the ball, the way he can get out of tight spaces, and the way that he can drive forward with the ball, as well as his tackling ability, looks to be at a decent level. However, I also caution that with the fact that, as Hugh said, these are his best bits. We don't see his shit bits. So, and also the fact that I don't really want to be signing the guy and being like, I think he's going to be shit. You know what I mean? So I am naturally going to be sort of like backing this deal. There's only one time I've ever done that, and that was Calvin Phillips. And I was right. But every other player, I try and get behind the player when we sign a player, like the Nunez one, didn't really want him. But when we signed him, I sort of was like, I'll back it. You know what I mean? Paqueta didn't really want him. And then we was like, yeah, we're getting him. I was like, oh, you know what? I get it. The only one that we signed and I was like, don't want this guy was Phillips. I never rated that guy ever. Even when he won the Player of the Year for England at the Euros, I was like, this guy is not it, man. I try and back the players. I don't want to be one of these fans who we sign a player and be like, he's shit, mate. He's a dead sight. I try and back it. So, yeah, hopefully it works out. Well, Fabrizio's confirmed something, is he? Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Not nothing, no real bomber, but medical has been completed. Documents in place for Nico Gonzalez as new Manchester City player from Porto, all confirmed. So, yeah, there you go, man.
Can we
Nico Gonzalez.
Can we do our own little medical on him and get up his transfer mark, bro, and see like injury record, size?
Yes,
he looks like based off what I saw, he looked like a big enough guy. I don't know, like if he's a monster or anything, but he looked big enough.
6'2". Yeah, 6'2".
Yeah. He's a big enough guy.
Yeah, 6'2" he is. Yeah, his injury record I don't think was that bad. I'm sure I checked it yesterday.
He's on like 7 goals and 6 assists or something already this season from midfield. He's also quite versatile. He plays attacking midfield, defensive midfield, centre midfield.
It's the 6'8" hybrid that we need. It's just a case of, can he do this 6 position good enough?
I think he can.
I think he can. I think the problem that we're going to have is, and I think I'm going to have this problem, and I think every City fan's going to have this problem, is when he starts as a 6, now to the end of the season, everyone's going to be comparing him to Rodri, and that's not right. What you need to compare him to Gundogan in his prime as a 6.
You need to put a stop. We need to put a stop and do as best we can to put a stop to the Rodri comparisons as they come along, because Rodri's a 1 in a million type player. But if he can go even 60-70% of the way to having the impact Rodri does, that's a success for me.
You need him to just be a competent DM. I'm not looking for world-class DM because he's not a DM. I'm looking for him to do what Gundogan used to do when Gundogan was in his prime, which was when Rodri was out injured, he could step in and put out 6 or 7 out of 10. Yeah? You remember the game when we played United? We beat him 6-3. Gundogan played in that game. Nice performance, good performance. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for 10 out of 10 performances from this guy as a 6, because that's not what he's going to be used for long term. Yeah? I'm looking for, can you play a 6 and get me through a game and help me get 3 points? If you can, W signing. If you can't, we're fucked and we need to go and buy someone else, and we'll try again for the 4th time to get a player, because we've already tried 3 now.
He like that remains to be seen. If can you do that for 90 minutes? What you're saying, the basics, just keep it calm, keep it ticking for 90 minutes. But from obviously the best moments that I saw shows all his best attributes and what he's good at and his best moments. He looks like he has an exceptional passing range. He looks like, you know, those diagonal passes Rodri makes in the middle of the park that just switch the play really quickly, and all of a sudden you're in space that we don't seem to experience at all anymore, is having space on the wings. He looks like he has a lot of them in his locker. So I mean, I do want to reinforce, like, I just saw his very best moments. So you guys can all make your own judgments. Maybe he'll play against Leyton Orient and we'll get a bit of a look at him there. That might even be a good game for him to be introduced to. But I don't know. I'm
I
invested.
go semi-strong in that game, you know. Apart from the back line, midfield and attack, I'd go pretty strong.
I'd start
really
him.
would.
I'd start him. I'd start the kid. I'd start Gonzalez.
Yeah, I'd start Gonzalez. I'd start. Who would I start? I want to go strong. I want to go strong. I want to be playing that game, and I don't want to be fucking around. I want to get the. I want to not 3 points. I want to get the win. Get myself into the next game, yeah, and have these players going into that Real Madrid game with a little bit of confidence. Maybe Bob, yeah, maybe start Bob. Give him 60 minutes. You know, I think for me, we've got to go in that game strong, man. We have to go in that game strong.
It's hard. Like, you have to strike the balance between how many of the new guys do you want to blood and give a proper opportunity to.
Kuzanov and Vita Hayes, 100%. I've got to start that game on Saturday.
And then Gonzalez too. So you give them the three of them a start, yeah?
I'd start them. I'd start Akanji right back.
And you start Stones centre half side.
No. I play Vita Hayes, Abdelkader Huzanov.
The two as two centre halves.
That's fine as two centre halves.
I don't see that.
I would.
Maybe you would, but I just don't see
No,
it.
probably not. That's what I would do. I'd throw them both in there.
I put one of them with John Stones.
I start them both. Grealish.
Marmouche. I'm putting Marmouche.
Marmouche, yeah. Maybe start Marmouche as a striker.
Yeah. Marmouche. Savio. Bob, maybe.
Yeah, maybe start Bob. I don't know what you do with Grealish. I don't know what you do with Grealish. Play him left back.
Could you put the Reece guy at fullback? No.
I probably wouldn't. I'll probably keep him in the middle.
I think Rico plays the game. I think Rico starts anyway.
I reckon Rico starts left back. Or Kanji right back. Yeah, O'Reilly might play. What do you make of this O'Reilly shit?
Which part?
Well, the fact that Chelsea wanted to buy him for a considerable fee, but then City wanted a buyback, and Chelsea said, if it's a buyback, we're not doing it. Considerable fee in that. What do you reckon that considerable fee? It's got to be at least considerable fee for me is 30 mil plus.
30. I was going to say 30, yeah.
Like a 20 million fee is not considerable, is it? That's got to be 30 mil.
You're letting the likes of James Trafford go for 20 odd mil. Do you know what I mean? Nico O'Reilly's a far more valuable asset than that. I think you're talking 30 plus at least. And I think that'll be another major mistake. Another one that comes back to bite us in the arse. And
it's a bit weird though. We could have got 30 million for him, and then they've just been like, nah.
Because he's mega. He's a sick footballer.
Yeah, but it's irrelevant if he's mega. If he doesn't play, what's the point? You might as well sell him, though.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think they're cautious of getting egg in their face again.
They want the cake and eat it. That's what I've said. They don't. No, they do. They'd sell the player, but they want the buyback clause in there. But they refuse to pay him.
I put him out on loan. I put him out on loan at best, but I keep him under contract at Manchester City.
Yeah, I'm looking at the injury list, by the way, chat. Yeah. Let me bring this up because obviously we play Real Madrid in like 8 days' time.
Fuck, is it?
Yeah, we play him on the 11th, man. So injuries, Jeremy Doku he might be available, he might not be. He'll be available for the second game, definitely. But the first game, probably not. Edison will be back, hopefully. Diaz is touch and go. Diaz, according to this, should be back a couple of days before the Real Madrid game. And unfortunately, you're going to have to risk him and play him. I know it's a risk, but if you don't play Diaz, the history tells us that we'll get whacked. So you've got to play Diaz. Bob's back. Ake, we have no information yet. We have no information on when Ake is going to be back. Hopefully, he'll be back maybe for the second leg. But yeah, this is the big one for me. We can get Ruben Dias in that game, get him fit. You know what I mean? Try and get some sort of result. Go to the Bernabeu with something to fight for, and see what happens, man. But I'm not particularly confident. Are you confident for Real Madrid, bro?
No. No. Why would I be? The fucking state of what we watched yesterday.
Yeah. I think for me, if we have Diaz in the back line, I think we've got like a chance of maybe not getting whacked. The only chance we've got is that their defense is not particularly great. I've watched them a few times this year. Their defense ain't great, you know. It really isn't. But we're not. And the problem is with Real Madrid, right? I said this morning. They literally play in the worst possible way for us. They sit back deep against the big teams and just hit them on the break. So they'll give us the ball. I already know what's going to happen, yeah? They'll give us the ball. They'll sit back. We'll be knocking the ball around. And we'll all be saying as City fans, whoa, aren't we playing good there? We're dominating the ball. Bang! Fucking Vinny Jr. on a counter-attack 1-0. And we'll be like, oh, shit. Yeah, that's literally their plan. Their plan will be to give us the ball and hit us on the break. That's what they do. And that's why they struggled. I watched the Espanyol game yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, I can't remember, man. All these days have blown into one. I watched the Real Madrid versus Espanyol. Yeah, when Espanyol just played a low block and defended for their lives, they couldn't break them down. But we won't do that. We're not going to play low block, are we? We'll take the game to them and try and hit them on the break. Well, that's Barca kind of did that a little bit, and they got 2 goals. Now, Barca cooked them because Barca got the chances, and they were clinical. Rafinha got the ball, put the ball in the back of the net every time he got shot. The problem with us is we're not always a clinical side. We can be. We've got players that can be clinical. Marmoush, Haaland, KDB, Foden can be clinical, but they're a little bit inconsistent this season, and that's the problem. I think we'll score goals. I think we'll score in the tie. I think we might score 4 goals in the tie. But unfortunately, I think we'll concede about 5 or 6.
That was what I was going to suggest.
I'm not trying to say that in like a negative way. That's just my honest opinion of like analysing what I'm witnessing. And I think we'll score 4 goals. Yeah, but I think we'll probably concede 5 or 6, unfortunately. If we get a little bit lucky on the defending and be more clinical, maybe we can nick it. But yeah, I just struggle to see how we're going to just cope with the pace, man, of Mbappe and Vinny, man.
Yeah, well, you know, it's going to be a tough one. I'm not optimistic. You know, like, and it's not even as if there's like a great game between now and then where we can get our spirits up good and proper. You know, like late Orient should be a formality, respectfully. You know, it should be, but I'd like to see Marmoush maybe get a goal, start to get a feel for scoring a goal for Manchester City. But it's really just inshallah, isn't it?
Just before you go, yeah. What position do you reckon we need for the summer? I've said I think we need a right back. Obviously, the goalkeeper shit depends on what's going on with the goalkeeper situation. I think we need a right back. We might need a centre back. I think we need 2 midfielders. I don't think we need a winger or an attacker. I don't think we do. I think we're okay on that. But what do you think? As I'm saying, goalkeeper if Edison leaves, right back, potentially centre half, and 2 midfielders, creator and an all-rounder. Do you think we need a winger? Or nah? I'm saying Bob, Savio, Doku, Marmoush is enough.
No, I'm cool with the midfield situation, and I'm kind of cool with the striker situation too now with Marmoush and Haaland. Creative players in midfield, creative players for me is the priority, and probably centre halves. I think they should really make a huge effort to keep Ederson. I really, really do, but let go of at least 2 defenders and bring in at least 2. And then 2 creative midfielders, 2 attacking-minded midfielders with a bit of spark, bit of energy, bit of enthusiasm. Because right now it's dry. The attacking.
Have you seen much of that Simmons, bro?
He just had a deal with Leipzig, no?
Yeah, but it's 2-year contract.
I like him. I think he's a good player, Simmons. I do. From what I've seen,
it thinks to me of a. We know you're going somewhere next year. We'll sign you for 50 million. We'll flog you for 80 million, 30 million easy profit. When was the last time you seen a team spend 50 million pound on a player for a 2-year contract?
Yeah, Yeah, you could be on something. I like him. I think he's good. I need to watch a bit more of him now to decide if he's Man City level. But whenever I've seen him for Leipzig, and it's the Netherlands, isn't it? He played for the Netherlands in the Euros, so he was good there. But I don't know. It's going to be a conversation for the next few months, isn't it? The attacking side of things. Musiala, Wirtz, those names are going to come up non-stop. But after that, fuck knows. But Almo, these kind of guys. I don't know. I don't even know who's available.
Yeah, I'm gonna start watching the Xavi Simons, man, because somebody's chatting there. So some people are now saying it's not. You know what's hilarious, right? Is that over the last 12 months, 2 years, my chat has been spamming Xavi Simons propaganda. Yeah. And then soon as I say, you know what? It might be Xavi Simons because that deal's hella sus. We need a creative player, and Wirtz or Musiala are probably unlikely. I'm going to start watching him and doing watch-alongs. I'm now seeing these people come out in the chat saying, he's freaking mid. He's a dead player. I'm like, you've not been saying this for the last 2 years, man. The last 2 years, you guys have been spamming this guy's name in my chat, and I don't even know who he is. I've hardly ever seen a guy play. And as soon as I say, you know what, it might be him, I'm going to start watching him. They start fucking being negative Norries, man. Start shitting on me and that.
I'd like Rio Hatate from Celtic. There's one for you to go and watch. I think he's mega. Such a creative player, such a goal threat. He's in that Kyogo bracket for me. The two of them were the only two players at Celtic for a long time I looked at and said, you could maybe step up. Hatate's a bad man. Go and watch him chat. That's your homework for this evening. Rio Hatate, Japanese. Go and watch him, man. Bad man.
How old is he?
Wouldn't cost much either.
Is he old?
27.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like Baena, man. I think Baena would be a shout. Obviously, Wirtz Musiala is the. Nah, Jeff. No, you've not, bro. No, you've not, man. This chat has been pro Xavi Simons for years. For years. Yeah. And now I start saying I'm going to start watching him. You've all turned, man, and saying now he's trash. I don't know why you guys have done this, Bray. Yeah, but you used to prop him big time. Man.
They're just winding you up, bro. They know how to wind you up. You spend too much time
man.
with these people. They know how to push all your buttons.
They do fucking know. I know, man. You should see me yesterday on a watch along, bro. I was sparring everyone, man. It was fucking getting mad heated. Yo, big up to my bro Robel. Says, trust me, he's almost Rodri level. He's played in big games. He'll be the second best midfielder in the Premier League. Quality player. He's what we need. Technically amazing, says Robel. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Bookmark that. Bookmark that, Robel. Fair play to you, mate. We'll bookmark that.
See, man. Let's see, innit? Let's see, bro. But yeah, listen, big up to you, man. Big up to you guys in the chat. Big up to Hugh as well. Guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to Hugh's channel. The link is in the description. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you want to go and watch his reaction to yesterday's game, you can go and check that out as well. Only an 8-minute video. Won't take you long. See what Hugh's saying. Immediate post-match reaction. I will be back in 58 minutes to do the deadline day. I don't know what they call it. Deadline day close. I'll be live at 9 till 10 with Sai, and then 10 till 11, Hamza is coming on the show. I'm sure we'll get plenty of stuff to talk about, man. So make sure you join me in an hour's time for the seeing in of the deadline day, man. But yeah, listen, hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, do me a favor, man. Smash those likes up. This is the 4th stream of the day. Smash the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Subscribe to Hugh's channel as well. And yeah, man, I guess I'll see you in an hour for the deadline day show. Peace out. The stream is not ending. The stream is not ending. Why the stream is not ending? Why the stream is not ending? Well, the stream's not ending, innit? Maybe I have to end it just like on actual YouTube. just
we just do a watch along for West Ham Chelsea.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a watch along, man. Yo, chat, this is now a watch along stream. Yeah, fuck damn pots, innit?